Hello, everybody, as you come in. I'm just going to spotlight myself. Hello and welcome. I would love if you can please just make sure you are on mute as you come in tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Elise Mackey. I'm one of the business development managers with TM6 in Melbourne. And tonight, myself and three of our fabulous team leaders in our branch are going to be taking you through some of the reasons why we have an incredible trade-up offer on at the moment. And what we would love to know, just while you're coming in, is what's got you curious tonight? Are you already a TM6 owner and you've potentially got a TM5 and looking at the TM6? Or are you maybe just looking at a TM6 in general and you haven't decided to jump off that ledge yet? Let us know what model you have if you have one. That way we know how we can best support you. But tonight's demo is all about the TM5 versus the TM6. So we're going to take you through some incredible things like our high heat mode. We're going to be doing some sugar stages. We've got a chicken teriyaki cookie for you as well. And we're going to take you through the differences between the 5, the 6, cookie dough, all the things. So I am joined tonight by, as I said, 3 of my fabulous team leaders. I'm just going to add them in so you can see their lovely faces. So I have Emma, I have Nina, and I have Tess. And I'm going to be cooking the chicken teriyaki tonight. Emma's going to be doing a comparison with the TM5 and the TM6 with some onions. So that's something nice and simple. Nina's going to be making some beautiful honeycomb and coffee candy. And Tess is going to take you through the magic of cookie dough and how that integrates into the TM6. So that is our plan for tonight. We do have multiple consultants and team leaders on tonight as well. So if you have questions, please pop them into the chat. We are here to help. You will have someone on here that can answer your questions. But again, thank you to those that have already popped in the chat what model you have. Thanks, Kim. Hey, Gina. Pop in the chat which model you have and what you're hoping to learn about tonight. So I am going to just remove everybody else in the nicest way possible, just so that you guys can see me a little bit clearer as I take you through some of the differences. Now, tonight, we have the 5, we have the 6, we have the sparkling black TM6. But before we get into it all, I thought I would recap our offers that we have because we have 5 incredible offers that are due to end at the end of this month. The first, of course, is that you can trade in your TM5 and upgrade to a TM6. Not only will you save $300 off the value of the TM6, you'll also get a second bowl blade and lid set thrown in for free. If that's not for you, completely fine. You can purchase yourself a TM6 and you can get a $29 bowl. Now, bowls retail for $3.95. If you're already an owner, you would know the value of having that second bowl. So regardless of whether you're doing the trade up or you're just purchasing outright, we have the second bowl, which is an incredible deal. We also have our 36 months interest-free offer. We have our half price earn deposit, which means you can come on board for half the price that you normally would to get started. We also have a half price business kit. So we have a lot on, which is why we're doing this tonight, to make sure that you have all the details. But please reach out to your consultant. If you don't have a consultant, please pop that in the comments and we can definitely hook you up with someone that can support you. So let's have a little bit of a look at the TM5 versus the TM6, because from the front, they don't look all that different. Ignore this on here, by the way. This is just my logo. That's not actually on the TM6, but my other one is packed up in the car for a market. So we're showing with this one tonight. Now, the first thing that you will obviously notice is the size of the screen with the 5 and the 6. And I'm just going to switch over to my other camera, just so you can see this a little bit clearer. So the TM5 does have a much smaller display than the TM6. The TM5 has basically, you've got your manual mode of cooking, you've got your auto recipes. So there are 3 recipes that are in auto mode, and you have your guided cooking. With the TM6, you have your manual cooking as always, you have your guided recipes, and you have your modes. So I'm going to take you through modes a little bit later. One of the key differences though is our cookie dough integration between the 5 and the 6. So with your 5, your recipes are either stored on a cook key or they are stored on, I'm going to get it off the fridge here because mine literally is just used as a magnet now, on your recipe chip. So you've either got the cook key, which houses the recipes from Cookie Do, which you manually need to bring across. And I believe it can store about 180 recipes at a time. Now, team, correct me if I'm wrong, these are around $250 to purchase, or you have your basic cookbook chip or our other cookbook chips that sit on the side, and that's how you access the recipes manually from your TM5. With your TM6, however, everything is integrated. So your TM6 automatically connects up to your Wi-Fi, which means I can swipe across, and yes, it does say hello gorgeous because that's how I program it. It's nice to have something that, you know, turns on every day and tells you you're gorgeous. Your TM6 automatically connects up to your Wi-Fi. So not only can you scroll down on here, we've got new collections that are available. We have a lot more usability with the TM6. So no matter what we want to search, we don't actually have to use the Cookie Do on your app or on your computer like you would with your TM5. You can manually search in here. So if I wanted a curry, for example, I can just search it and it's going to bring me up as many that I have in there. I've got 532 that have shown with the filters that I have set, and I can just click in and start cooking from there. If I was using my TM5 and I wanted to access those recipes, I would need to, it's going to make me go through all the safety features again, that's annoying. I would need to manually take them from my phone, sync it up to my cook key, and then I would have access to them. So you don't have that, the ability just to search directly. And that for me has been an absolute game changer. Now we're going to talk about loads of other features tonight, including the high heat, but one of the biggest differences that you'll notice between the 5 and 6 is the fact that the 6 can go at least 40 degrees hotter than the 5. So I hear a lot that, you know, I'll ask someone that's cooking with a TM5, what sort of things are you cooking? And they'll usually say they're doing things like they're processing, their rice cooker, smoothie maker, they're doing their dough. So all the basics, the sous chef kind of thing, but not necessarily using it for meals. And the reason is you just can't get that depth of flavor that you can with a TM6. You will see that tonight when we do the onions. You'll definitely see a big difference there. We have a couple of different accessories for the 6 as well. So I might just come up back over to this screen. There we go. So just in terms of the accessories and the differences, it is the same size bowl. Okay, so it's still a 2.2 litre jug. However, your TM6 does have an integrated, not a safety feature, but a safeguard, I suppose, in that you actually can't sit the bowl into the TM6 with the jug not fully assembled. So we used to have loads of people that would flood their machines because the TM5 can sit directly in the machine and not be fully put together. Big risk. Your TM6 actually can't do that. The other thing that you may notice is we do have a difference in the measuring cup. Now, if I flip these upside down, TM6, TM5, how many times have you taken that lid off and that measuring cup has gone flying? I think I went through 5 or 6 of these. This is actually my sister-in-law's machine that she's lent me tonight. But you'll find your TM6 measuring cup does not fall out. So much easier, much more user-friendly. It also means that it is quieter because it does have more soundproofing capabilities there. With our simmering baskets, another difference is you'll notice that the TM6 has a lid. It's actually fabulous because it means that when you're doing things like your sous vide, it keeps your ingredients down the bottom so they're not going to float up to the top and not cook. And it also means that you have kind of like a double-edged strainer here. So your simmering basket still sits in just as it normally would, but still works the same there. Now, one of the big differences though is this in here, which is your splash guard. This is only needed for the TM6 because it's only used in your high heat recipes. This is designed to sit on top of your lid when you're using the high heat mode. And the reason being, I hold it up here against a white background. If I place this over here, what it's going to do is it's going to allow as much steam as possible to come out, but it's not going to be splattering, okay? And that's where it's different to something like the simmering basket, where if I was to put that over the top, as you can see, all of that hole in the measuring in the lid, wow, words, are still exposed. So you would get splatter with that. So this is only needed for high heat. You'll see this used multiple times tonight, and it's nice and easy to clean. It fits in the dishwasher beautifully. As always, everything is dishwasher safe. Now, we'll go through scales and everything when Nina does her part, but just something to show you quickly, and I'll switch over to the other screen again, is where you can find our modes. So with the TM6, you have your time, your temperature, and your speed as usual. If I swipe across the other way though, we have all of our modes. Now, let me just bring you a little bit closer here so you can see. So we have things like our preset chopping modes. This is a new function that's come out quite recently. And the beauty of the TM6 is it just gets better with age. When this first came out, we had, I think, maybe 6 or 7 modes on here. And as we go, we've added plenty more. So let's say you want to, I don't know, grate up some cheese. Not everyone has that automatically in the back of their brain with how to do that. Once you're a consultant, this will come very naturally. But with the TM6, you can simply come in, click on what you want to be doing, and you can set it. So you can choose how much you're doing. You could, if you wanted to, for example, chop an onion, okay, but you didn't know what your standard speeds were. Depending on how much you have, if you were doing 100 to 200 grams cut into halves, you would just select that amount and you would set it, and it's going to have all of that preset for you. So this is one of our newest modes. It is absolutely amazing. We also have some other modes, including our grater, our slicer, so using our cutter attachment. You've got your scales there, your dough mode, your turbo. Pre-clean is probably one of my absolute favorites, and you will see that tonight. Very different to a standard TM5 pre-clean, because what you can do is you can set how you want it done. So we have our short clean, dough mode, our universal clean, fat or caramel, or our browning clean. So this is amazing. Probably one of my favorite features of the TM6, if I'm perfectly honest. You've also got your egg boiler mode, which is actually one of our most used functions on the TM6. And the beauty of that is you can pop your eggs in whole and it will leave the blades idle. So they're not going to be spinning. They will sit around the blades, no simmering basket, nothing like that. And you simply just choose how you want your eggs cooked. Soft, medium, medium hard, or hard. That is absolutely incredible. We have things like our kettle mode, rice cooker, fermentation mode. So you can ferment within the bowl, or you can also ferment in your varoma. Slow cooker, sous vide, warm up mode, and thicken mode. And as I said, new modes coming all the time. So there is still an incredible amount of technology left on this machine. But what we're going to do is we're going to pass over to Nina, and she is going to take us through the start of her coffee candies. So over to you, Nina.
Hello, everybody. How are you going? Thank you so much for joining, and thank you, Elise, for hosting this awesome showcase tonight. So I don't have a TM5 because I came in only 2 or 3 years ago when the TM6 was available. So I jumped straight into the very best of our models here. I have in this one already started my honeycomb. So that's got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on that. So I will jump back to that a little bit later. But I just wanted to show you guys something a little bit different coming into Christmas time as well. It is a great gift idea, the coffee candy. So if you're a coffee addict like myself, it is a really delicious sweet. So I have scrolled across and I've got my cookie dough on my Thermomix screen here. And I'm just going to type into the search bar. Now, I don't know if you mentioned it before. I didn't hear it, but we do have actually 90,000 recipes or just over available to us when you do sign up for Cookie Do as well, and all those recipes are on the screen of your Thermomix. So I'm just going to type in coffee candy, and it's sitting there waiting for me to click on. Alrighty, so it comes up with a little picture there. It's given me 69 results, so all these beautiful recipes coffee flavored. I'm going to click on that there. Now, the recipes on the screen look pretty much the same as what they do on your phone. You just don't have that start cooking button there, but you do have cook today. So what that means is that you can click that button on your phone and it sends it straight to the Thermomix screen for ready and waiting for you to cook in a little while. So we've got our ingredients on the side here. We have our method on one side. We even have our nutritional factors. So there's nothing good about this. There's lots of sugar, but it is definitely a really nice treat. We also have our total time here, our serving size, our preparation time, all the good things that you need to know before you jump into the kitchen. So I'm going to click on start cooking. And because we're using a sugar stage mode, it wants us to be very precise in what we put into the Thermomix ingredients wise. So we're just going to click next. Take off our lid. We've also started with a very clean bowl. So I've just done a vinegar wash on this. So you can see nice and shiny, it's nice and dry. We'll tear those scales back down to 0. And what I'm going to show you here, I've got my water. The scales go up by 1 gram increments here. So the TM5 does go up by 5 gram increments. So not as precise as the TM6 here. And I'm pretty sure the TM31 is a little less precise as well. Alrighty, I'm going to press next there. I've got my instant coffee granules here. So for the purpose of tonight, I'm just going to use this one here. But you can, however, mill up your favorite coffee beans in the Thermomix before starting this recipe as well. So it's only 5 grams. So we're just going to sprinkle that in. So it's going to be a bit under 2 tablespoons there. And we've got our glucose syrup as well here. So I'm just going to pour that around the blades. Actually, Elise, before I do that, my honeycomb is just about to go. So
let's do it.
Keep that in mind. So I'm going to pour into the jug before went honey, sugar. We had a little bit of water. And I've just got some bicarb soda here sifted in the measuring cup. Alrighty, so that's chimed, that's ready to go, and it absolutely smells amazing. So quickly, before I pour the bicarb in, I'm going to pop that in, just in and around the blades, grab my spatula really quickly, and give it a quick mix. So you'll notice it's starting to change, lighten up, go a little bit fluffier. As soon as that's ready and doing all that, I'm going to pour it into my container. So you do work very quickly when you're making honeycomb, but it is very, very impressive and absolutely delicious. Okay.
This is one of my favorite things to make when I have a new owner that's come from a TM5 to a TM6. And, you know, you've seen, if you're already a TM5 owner, of course, you've seen things like the veggie stock, you've seen the basics. So I really encourage you, when you get your TM6, start making things using the sugar stages mode. It is absolutely incredible to be able to do things like the honeycomb and the coffee candy and the lollipops and the toffee apples and the salted caramel sauces. Oh my goodness.
So while that's in there, so that just sets now. So in a nice cool place, it asks us to pour in about 1,000 grams of water and a little bit of vinegar. So like Elise was saying before, the pre-clean mode is absolutely amazing. And this recipe does incorporate the pre-clean mode just to get that bowl. There you go, nice and clean. So you don't have to worry about all the stickiness of the honeycomb. So that's sitting there doing that, cleaning itself. And we've got our beautiful honeycomb. Look at the gloss on that, guys, setting in there. So I'm going to pop that aside. Okay, and we'll continue with our coffee candy. Going to pour that. A little trick here, guys. I haven't done it tonight, but if you've got spray oil, you can spray it on the spoon, and it's going to allow you to pour that glucose syrup nice and easy. It literally just slides off the spoon there. Okay, press next. I've got 120 grams of sugar, so that's going in. Okay, and I've got 30 grams of butter as well. Perfect. A little bit of salt. Okay, so I'll show you all those ingredients before I pop the lid on. They're all in there. Okay, so we pop the lid on and it's just asking us to place the splash guard on top of the lid there. So all we're doing is placing that on top. We're pressing next. And because it is a safety feature, as Elise was saying before, the splash to prevent all that splashing, it wants you to press done once you've done that, okay? And it will actually determine if those arms close and that splash guard is not on there, then the Thermomix will not continue with the recipe. So the sugar stage mode isn't available on your manual cooking, but it is available through your guided cooking through Cookie Do. So you'll see when we do get up to the cooking step, it has automatically set the sugar mode there and for 14 minutes. So I'm just going to turn that dial. The arms have closed and the time will start counting down once it has reached the correct temperature. But yes, as Elise was saying, the sugar stage mode can do toffee apples. It's doing coffee candy, honeycomb, lots of different stuff. Lollipops for the kids, lots of different stuff. Sorry, my mind's got blank now.
No, it's totally fine. There are so many different things that it can do. So thank you, Nina. And what's going to happen with that sugar stage is it'll start to incorporate, it'll start to melt all that sugar down. Once it gets to a particular temperature, those blades are going to stop and it's just going to allow it to actually simmer up and start to caramelize. So you're not going to have, crystallization happening in there. It's going to get it to the perfect temperature every single time.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to...
I was just going to say, you don't have to be a chef to know this. You can be at home mum, home cook, and be able to create all these beautiful things without knowing the logistics of it.
Absolutely. One of the best parts. All right. So I'm going to start with what am I cooking? Chicken teriyaki. I got so used to saying creamy coconut chicken curry then because it's such a habit after doing so many demos with it. But what I've got built in here is I can go into my week. You'll also notice that there are some differences with the settings on here. So things like the sound of the Thermomix, you can actually change now. So you're not stuck in that very loud, obnoxious noise that the TM5 makes. You do have a little bit more flexibility in your sound. So I will show you guys that tonight as we go. But in my week, you've got your weekly planner on here. So tonight I've got chicken teriyaki and browned onions. I've got banana bread for tomorrow, Layla's creamy lemon butter chicken. That is amazing. And then Saturday night, I have a hens party at my place. So it's all about the cocktails. We've got the espresso martini, the margarita, and the pina colada in there ready to go. So let's go with our chicken teriyaki. And again, as Nina said, everything that you need is in here. So you've got all of your cookie dough items in here, your hints and tips, everything is in here. Now, let's go start cooking. And we're going to go in with 10 grams of olive oil even. So you'll notice that those scales do go up in those 1 gram increments. Going to add in 250 grams of boneless chicken thighs. Now, something else I will show you is the TM5 versus the TM6 spatula. So this is your TM5. It is rigid, very, very hard, not great for getting things out. Your TM6 spatula is more of a soft silicone. Okay, so it does actually get around the bowl much easier. It fits in the hand nicer as well because it is a slimmer design. So we're going to go in with our chicken. And we're going to place our splash guard on top with our lid. Now I'll just bring that back a little bit so you can see that a bit better. There we go. All right, so our splash guard is on, and this is going to go for 5 minutes. Whoops, it's dropped down. We've got it on our max temperature, so this will get up to about 160 degrees, and we'll start to actually really start cooking that off. We're going to go over to high heat, and that is going to do its thing. While that does its thing, we are going to go over to Emma. and she's going to take us through what I think is one of the most amazing things to see with the TM5 versus the TM6, which is the browned onions. I could not believe the first time I saw this in action, and you will see why tonight.
Thanks, Elise. Hi, everyone. I am Emma. I have been a consultant for 5 years. So I actually came on board to earn my TM5 many years ago. And along the way, I have then earned multiple machines, including our beautiful sparkling black. Elise mentioned before that we have some incredible offers at the moment, and the black is still available. So being able to upgrade your TM5, you can choose the sparkling black or the classic white. Tonight, as Lee said, we are going to be doing some browned onions. So I have exactly the same amount of onions in both bowls here, and I'm going to be using the highest heat of both machines. So we'll start with the TM6. As the girls have shown you, I have also added the brown onions to my week. So I'm just going to click on that and press on start cooking. Here, I'm just going to pop in some olive oil. It's just asking for 20 grams. While that's doing that over here, I'm going to do exactly the same over here on my TM5. So to bring the scales up on the TM5, there's just a little button here on the screen. And I'm just going to weigh in 20 grams of olive oil there as well. So as the girls have mentioned as well, we are using 5 gram increments on the TM5, which annoys me. I'm not really that precise, but I am a little bit OCD. So now that we've done olive oil, we're going in with the 200 grams of brown onions. So we're going here with the TM6 first, 210. Let's see how many we have for the TM6, TM5. Not 200, just on 200. And pressing on next. So with the TM6, we're going to put our splash guard on as well. And I've got that one here. And with the TM5, what we're going to do is going to pop the simmering basket on top because we are taking the machine above 95 degrees. Here we're going to just see how long this is going to take. So this has got 16 minutes on the clock. So we're going to take that to 16. I've got a dodgy handle, don't mind that. Beauty of the TM5 trade up is that it doesn't matter what condition your TM5 is in, you can definitely trade that up regardless. I just need to get some glue. So simmering baskets on maximum temp there. On here, the maximum temp is 120. On the TM6, it's 160, but it will automatically do that. On the TM5, we just turn the, sorry, TM6, I'm getting so confused going 5 and 6. We just turn the speed selector to activate the mode. And with the TM5, I'm just going to take it to speed 1. That you'll hear the difference between the machines. The blades actually stop and start with the 5, with the 6. With the 5, that won't actually happen. That will continuously stir. So let's turn them up. As that starts to cook, you'll hear, you probably won't because both of them are going at the same time, but with the TM6, the blades, as I said, will start and stop. So once that reaches temperature, it will stir until it reaches temperature. Actually, it won't stir until it reaches temperature. It will get to temperature and then it will stir. And it will stir for a little bit, exactly the same as you would be doing on the stove. It will replicate that process. So it will stir for a little bit just to stop it from sticking, and then it will let it settle, cook it, and then it will stir again. I can already hear that sizzling, and it's been 45 seconds.
I'll never again, I mentioned it before, but I will never forget the first time we saw the TM6 in, I've spotlighted the wrong one. Well done, me. Hang on. The first time we all saw the TM6 at a Thermomix conference, and we were up in Brisbane, and there was about 150 team leaders in the room, and we had Luke Newen cooking with it. No, that was Vietnam. Who was doing it? Matt Sinclair, sorry. Matt Sinclair was cooking with it, and he was doing the Sancho Bao, and he showed us it, and never before had we heard a Thermomix sizzle. And I remember he held the microphone to it, and we heard that sizzle, and we all just went, oh my goodness. Because we honestly were, when the TM6 came out, we were thinking, well, how much better can it be, right? We really were. And that moment, it was a mic drop moment, literally. You just heard everyone's jaw drop, and we went, okay, we get it now. There really is, while they might look quite similar, a huge, huge difference between them. Now, my chicken has about 7 seconds left, so I am just going to remove you, Em, if that's all right. Sorry to be rude. I'm going to remove this one as well. And we're going to have a look here. Maybe be a little bit more gentle than I am. All right. So we've started cooking that chicken off, and I'm going to give that a quick scrape around. And I've got a little bit of caramelization on my bowl, which is exactly what we want. And I'm just going to transfer that chicken into an oval thermoserver. Of course, you can pick this up as a host reward. So if you are interested in getting your hands on a thermoserver, then that is the best way to do it. Now, we do have a little bit of browning on there, and this is all going to deglaze. So it's kind of like when you, as Emma said, when you're cooking with a pan and you get those little brown bits on the bottom, that's exactly what you want. So that's going to stay nice and hot in that thermoserver. And one of the other parts about the TM6 is you have a preview feature. So when you are cooking with it, you can actually go through and get all of the details of what you need to do next. We're going to add in our veggies. So I've got a bit of a mix of everything. So the idea of actually stir frying in a Thermomix was mind-boggling to me. So I've got some onion, I've got some red capsicum, I'm just going to add it all in, carrot sticks, snow peas and broccoli. So all of that is going in. So this recipe is one of our favorites to demonstrate because it has so much flavor, it's so quick, it's so easy, it makes a huge amount. We're going to go 20 grams of olive oil, a little bit more. All right. And we are going to place our splash guard on again. And we're going to go for another 5 minutes at high heat, so our maximum temperature. Now, Nina, you've got something going on there, or am I imagining it?
The coffee has about 4 minutes left, but I do have my honeycomb here. It's not quite set, so it's still a little bit sticky. It would be quite chewy at this point in time, but when it does cool completely, I wouldn't put it in the fridge or anything. I just let it cool naturally on the kitchen bench there. You can drizzle it in chocolate, which you can melt yourself in the Thermomix as well. But I just wanted to touch base a little bit on what Emma was saying with the blades as well. So what Emma's doing right now, they do stop and start. So they do mimic what you would do on a frying pan. So giving it a little bit of a stir, letting it sizzle, coming back, giving it a little bit of a stir, or, having to be slave to the stove there. With the Thermomix, you can walk away from that stove as well, from the bench as well. It's a little bit different when we're using the sugar stages. So the blades don't actually move. Okay, so they don't need to be turned around or anything. It's literally just sizzling or heating up the ingredients there and really getting it to that crisp, what they call sugar snap stage. So when it does cool down, you've got that beautiful snap in your candy or your honeycomb and stuff like that. Another mode, which Elise has touched base on, is your egg boiler mode. So there, again, the blades do not turn. So you can boil up to 6 eggs in the jug of the Thermomix and not have them harmed or cracked or anything like that, which is awesome for food prep or, throwing on some eggs in the morning for lunch boxes or potato salads and things like that. So that is another wonderful feature of the TM6 is those blades. We've got a couple more minutes on the candy.
That we do. So let me just place it back with me. I've got about 3 minutes left on the chicken and I'm just making sure I've got absolutely everything out ready to go. But I thought I would do a quick wrap up again of the offers that we have before we go to the next step of this. We come back to Emma and then Tess is going to take us through Cookie Do. Because as I said, with our TM5 trade up, this is the best trade up deal we have offered. Now, for reference, I know people, I've definitely heard people say that, you know what, my TM5 is worth more than $300. And I agree, it probably might be. However, what we offer is complete convenience. It's like trading in a car where sure you could get a little bit more if you are doing it privately, but you've then got the absolute pain of having people come over and inspecting and going back and forward. Getting it serviced, most likely you would need to get your TM5 serviced before you can sell it privately. And as a bit of an example, Chelsea, who's one of my colleagues, recently decided to trade in her laptop. It was a 2021, I believe, model of an Apple Mac. And she was offered $300 for that trade up, only for them to receive the machine, the computer, and it had a tiny little dent in the bottom. And they sent it back and said, it is worth nothing. We will not take it. With your TM5, we will take it in any condition. It doesn't matter if the scales aren't working. It doesn't matter if you don't have one of the parts. It doesn't matter if it is cracked screen, if it's crazed, we do not care. So this is a really, really helpful thing for you. Yep, Jodie's just gone through it with the final laptop. It is an absolute pain. So this is where the convenience really comes into it. And we're finding that if you have a look at Marketplace, there is a massive influx of TM5s on there because so many people are trying to upgrade to a TM6. So you'll probably see that, yes, the prices are higher on there, but not everybody is getting those prices and they are sitting there for a really, really long time. Now, of course, with this, as soon as you send your TM5 back, your TM6 is shipped out to you, and you can start cooking with all of our fabulous new modes. And of course, you'll have that second bowl. Now, if the trade-up isn't for you, that is okay. In terms of trade-in for a TM31, we do have a trade-in offer available through our service department. So it's not
Sorry, Elise, I'm just going to buzz in.
Oh, yep.
We're all ready.
Yep.
Just because we are working
coming over to you.
I've got my thermomat here, and I'm just going to slowly pour it onto the thermomat. You can see that sticky goodness, guys. So has anybody, you can pop it in the chat rooms, has anybody tried to make toffee, honeycomb, candy, toffee apples, anything like this, even melting sugar, melting chocolate, melting sugar, all of that sort of stuff in your TM5, TM31, whatever it is that you have at home? And what sort of success or not so much success have you had? Let's go. And it's going to go through that same cleaning process. So if you guys can see that there, I'm going to pop that back on. If I just pop that down. Okay, so you can see that it's quite flat at the moment. And as that starts cooling off, I've got my little pastry cutter here, and I'm just going to form it into either a little bit of a log or a square and cut it into little, I wouldn't be biting it, but enjoyable sizes. All right, sorry, Elise, you can keep going.
All good. Time is of the essence when it comes to sugar stuff. So as I said, we also have our $29 bowl deal. If you decide, you know what, I actually still really love my TM5 and I'd love to kind of keep it, use it as a second machine. Honestly, having the two, absolutely amazing. So if you're using this one as a processor and this one to do the main, so you've got rice, curry, whatever it might be, having two is an absolute game changer. So if you decide that the TM5 trade up isn't for you, that's okay. Come on board and take advantage of our $29 bowl deal. Again, we do have 36 months interest free available at the moment. So that is available for our trade up and for our standard offer. So it brings it down to less than $19 a week. Absolutely incredible value. Or of course, do what we do, come on board, earn your machine. If you decide that you absolutely love it like we do, as in the business side of it, stay with us. If not, earn your machine, that's fine. So my veggies have finished cooking now. And I'm just going to transfer them into my thermo server with the chicken. And I've definitely got some color happening on there, especially with the onions that went in first. So I'm just going to show you the bottom of this bowl because I think it's really quite awesome to see. Because all of that flavor is going to go in with our sauce when that deglazes. So that is not something you would see with a TM5. It's just not going to get quite hot enough to create that depth of flavor. So your curries, your sauces, everything is going to taste better with the TM6. So we've scraped out the bowl. Do not clean mixing bowl is what it's saying now. And that is my favorite 5 little words when it comes to a Thermomix. Do not clean mixing bowl. All right, I'm going to go in with 10 grams of fresh ginger straight into the bowl. 10 grams of garlic. Again, we measure garlic with love. It doesn't need to be exact. And we are going to chop that up. So lid's going on. Just going to pop my measuring cup in there. And of course, we're going to chop that for 8 seconds on speed 7. So this is going to get it really nice and fine because we are going that little bit longer. Just checking the chat box. Beautiful. All right. Of course, beautifully chopped, all done. So we are going to do a really quick scrape down around the bowl. And I'm curious how many of you that own a TM5 are actually using your TM5 spatula, because I know for me, it was pretty much gone straight away. So with your TM6 spatula, as you can see, it is a much cleaner job there. We are going to go in with 70 grams of tamari. I've just got soy sauce, what I have in the cupboard. So again, it's guided cooking. You can adjust it though to suit whatever you need. Now I've got dark soy. I probably should have just used light. So I'm going to go a little bit less than the 70 grams. There we go. We're going to go in with 30 grams of honey. And this is the most beautiful teriyaki sauce. There we go. I'm really awkward with my left hand. We want 2 teaspoons of corn flour. This is a dinner that I'll really quite often make for the just for the kids because it's such a quick one and I don't have to think about it. I can leave it, I can come back and it's good to go. And about 2 teaspoons of water. I might add a little bit more actually, just because I did reduce the tamari a little bit. So we are going to pop on our simmering basket and we're going to go for 3 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 5. No, sorry, 3.5, not 5. All right, so that is cooking. Now, Emma, where are your onions at? I just want to see where you're at with those.
We have 1.5 minutes.
All right, so I'm going to keep you on the screen then rather than try and mess around with that. But what I will talk about really quickly is our incredible host rewards, because there are some great options that you can get with the host rewards. So when you purchase the TM6, if you're already a TM5 owner, chances are you've got a thermoserver already, potentially got a thermomat, but what you can pick up is our blade cover peeler and our modes book. And that is fantastic because you can use your slow cooking feature there. You can use the peeler so you can peel your potatoes. And it's something that you'll get quite a lot of use out of, especially through winter in your TM6, using that slow cook, the sous vide, loads of different things you can use it for. So I would really recommend, if you decide that you do want to trade up and you want to get a TM6 on your bench, have your learning demo, okay? You will probably go, I've already got a TM5, I know what I'm doing, but I promise you, we have so many different hints and tips that we can give you with the TM6 as well. It is absolutely worth it. And of course, you then get the opportunity to show your friends and family just how a Thermomix could potentially help them. Now, again, we do have all of our offers ending very soon. So if you do know of anybody that is interested, have a quick demo with them, show them what it can do, and then you can pick up our host rewards as well. How are we going for time there, Emma? Did I fill that in all right?
20 seconds.
Ah, look at that. All right, I'm going to pass over to you now. Oop. There you go. Now you're back.
So, as Elise said before about the teriyaki, we've had that twice this week, customers that were interested in seeing the machine. So it is super quick, super easy, and very tasty. So our onions are finished here. I forgot how different the TM5 sounded. It's been a while. Who wants to see the TM5 first?
Do the 5 first.
So these are our onions from our TM5. I'm going to leave them in the bowl because I'll show you both in comparison. And these are our onions from our TM6. So as you can see, there is quite a difference in the colour. The smell is even different. They just have that different browning smell. And I can guarantee that that flavour will be 10 times better coming from the TM6. I'm just going to grab a spatula and show you the bottom of the bowl.
It's essentially the difference between sweating an onion and sauteing an onion. You know, you will always get more flavour when that onion has been cooked properly.
I'd love to also know, when you guys are using your TM5s and you're making something like, I don't know, maybe a risotto or like a stir fry style dish, how juicy is it down the bottom? Like, it's really watery, it's really juicy. So this is the TM6. There's no like juices as such. It's all been absorbed, cooked properly. With the TM5, there is no browning on the bottom of that bowl. And there is a little bit of juices down there that hasn't really cooked off with the onions. So just quickly before we go to Elise, I can see that hers is done. But what I will be doing with these onions is cooking or making the French onion dip from our brand new Thermomix magazine. If you guys haven't seen it, it is available in Coles, Woolies, I think Kmart even, and all news agencies. Has some beautiful recipes in here, lots of hints and tips. And you may have seen some of our consultants cooking the cover. But one of the recipes in here is the TM6 exclusive French onion dip. So it does include obviously the high heated onions, and then it's just some cream cheese, sour cream, garlic powder, onion powder, and apple cider vinegar. That's something that we'll be making with these onions, and then the rest will probably go into a stir fry as well. Love to know in the comments or in the chat what you guys think of the difference between the two onions, and if you're impressed, because I definitely am every single time.
It is a game changer. And I love that you've mentioned that French onion dip, because for some reason I had it in my head that I was still cooking the brown onions tonight for the demo. And so I went and bought everything for the brown onions, going, yeah, I'm going to make the dip on Saturday, and then went, oh, I'm not cooking them tonight. So still going to make the dip because it looks amazing. Now, what I have done is I have just taken that sauce out because I don't think it's really that important for you guys to see me remove the sauce from the bowl, but I'm just mixing that in with my chicken and with my veggies, and that is our dinner done for tomorrow night. So absolute win there. Now, Nina, I can see that you're shaping all of your candy there, and then we're going to pass over to Tess. Just take us through cookie dough really quickly.
Yeah, okay, so I have shaped it and I have cut it with my pastry cutter there. So it just needs to cool that little bit more, just to get that snap, and we can separate them all. But yeah, so I've just got to go ahead and cut them horizontally, and they'll be perfect. The honeycomb is still a little bit chewy, so I won't break that up just yet.
It definitely needs a little bit of time to set there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to pass over to the fabulous Tess Murray, because there are some pretty impressive differences when it comes to using the TM5 versus the TM6 when it comes to cookie dough. So Tess, would you mind taking us through some of the key differences?
Absolutely, no problem. I'm just going to share my screen and get into cookie dough. And quite interestingly, mine also says hello, gorgeous. Someone's got to say it. Yeah, someone's got to say it right to brighten my day. Doesn't that look very cheerful? Okay, so the key differences between having a TM5 and a TM6 when it comes to cookie dough. Now, I'm assuming, of course, you all know what cookie dough is. Please pop in the chat if you don't. That would be very handy. Cookie dough is a game changer. I'll be honest, when it first came about, I was kind of like, oh yeah, you know, didn't really embrace it. I was a bit ho-hum about it. Now I very rarely cook anything unless it's on cookie dough because I absolutely love the step-by-step instructions. But those of you who have a TM5 already and have a cookie are well aware of those guided cooking instructions and how awesome they are. What you may not be aware of is that with the TM6, you don't have to sync it every time you make changes in cookie dough. And that's something that really, it might not be a deal breaker, but when you don't have to do it anymore, you're kind of like, oh, you know, that's so last year. It's having to sync it and wait, and, you know, it's quite cumbersome. And if you don't have a cookie, the thing that really used to annoy me is I know I'd want to make a certain recipe and I'd have to think to myself, now, which chip is that on? You have to sort through all my chips and try and find the right chip to get the recipe that I wanted. All of that is out the window now because Cookie Do is integrated into your TM6 and it's instant. It's Wi-Fi connected. It is through an app, cookiedoo.com.au. If you don't have a subscription, jump on now. We will gift you a 30-day free subscription, free trial to Cookie Do, and you can just play away to your heart's content. Now, one thing I wanted to show you on Cookie Do that you can do with the TM6 functionality is created recipes. I think this is the key difference. Created recipes, what does that mean? For those of you who perhaps don't understand Cookie Do, it means that you can add your own recipes into Cookie Do. So no longer do you need to scrummage through the kitchen trying to find a recipe which has got tomato sauce stains all over it because you've used it so much. Your recipes are there stored in Cookie Do forever. I'm just going to quickly show you some of my recipes. Please interrupt me, ladies, if you need to show anything.
Oh, all good.
Awesome. So I'm going to go into my created recipes. And where are they? And they don't want to come up for some reason. That's exciting, isn't it? Cookie Doo's just having a moment.
One sec.
Here we go. Please, please, please. Yay! Creative recipes. So these are some recipes that I've added in. Most of them are probably from the recipe community, I'll be honest, because there's a lot. I'm a TM31 original, and there are a lot of recipes in there that I love from the recipe community. There is a lovely green little box that says add to Cookie Do, and you can just add it straight away, which is really, really great. Also, if you have a Cookie Do recipe and you like to make tweaks to it, you might like to make it gluten-free or dairy-free or vegetarian or whatever, you can save that recipe to your created collections and tweak it to how you like to make it. This one's a personal favorite. This is my mum's famous brandy Alexander. It was her favorite drink in the entire world. And I have converted it and put it in here so I'll never lose it. And it's ready to make for every family celebration that we have. Now, the other bonus is, I'll just check that. Say the recipes and stop having, yes, you will lose the recipes over time, Jen. Initially, oh, there we go. Jodie's answered it. Fantastic. Thanks, Jodie. So the beauty of having them here and you're able to look at them is that when you go in to plan your week, you will be able to, and you can see what I've cooked today. I have made the brown sugar creme cake. I've made those into little cupcakes. This is delicious. And sometimes it's just when you go, what the heck, I'm just going to cook something really naughty and I'm going to love it. And that was today. And we had a roast tonight. We had a roast lamb and we just did some roasted potatoes with rosemary and garlic. You know, it's okay not to use your Thermomix all the time for every component of every meal. And yeah, sometimes you just throw a lamb roast in the oven. Now, the beauty of what I was going to say before is when you're using your created recipes, if I wanted to, this will give you a giggle. Here we go. This is our little Shetland pony, Harry, and I have horse treats made for him that I make up in the Thermomix. And if I want to make that, I can actually add that to my weekly planner and I can say add to my week. And you know what? I think I'm going to make them tomorrow because the horses have been in massive upheaval lately with earth moving equipment in the backyard. So I've just told Cookie Do that I want to make that tomorrow. Then I go into my week and there are tomorrow's recipes. Okay, and I've got that. Now what that means is I can then add that to my shopping list. You can't do that with the TM5. You can't modify your shopping list and your meal plan because it doesn't have the capability to do that. So this is a shopping list for a customer for tomorrow night, and I have removed everything that I will take, and I've left everything in there that they need, and I was able to message that off to them really, really quickly, really easily. Had I wanted to order those ingredients, I can just press order ingredients and hook up to Woolworths and get them either delivered to my boot or delivered to my house. So easy. Does anyone have any questions? Is that all you wanted me to cover, Elise? Or
that is fabulous. Sorry, I've put myself on mute because I am doing a spot clean or a pre-clean on my bowl. Thank you, Tess. Again, Cookie Dough is one of the biggest selling features, I think, of the TM6 personally. Not going to lie, I never cooked in this. I genuinely didn't. I used to do the processor. Fantastic for that. But cooking an actual meal, I just didn't do. I am a chef by trade. So for me, everything is about flavor. And this one is very, very different to your TM5 in terms of what you're going to get there. Now, I've got around 2 minutes left on this pre-clean. I am just going to stop it now so that you can actually hear me talking properly. But my chicken teriyaki is completely done. Absolutely delicious. And how good dinner is done for tomorrow night. So that is one of the massive perks of being a consultant and doing this, doing what we love. I've now got dinner ready. But let me just show you what our pre-clean has done for my bowl here. Now, this bowl was pretty dirty. I've just popped some water and some dishwashing liquid in there. And I did a universal clean. So I'm just going to give it a quick rinse so you can see. Now, if I had done the browning clean, takes a little bit longer, but again, I'm not doing any of the actual work. This would have got a little bit more off. So I've got a little bit on the bottom, but a really quick scrape around that is going to get that off. But look at the sides and how much easier that is. So it's cleaned my lid and everything up the top as well. So that is pretty much it from us tonight. I'm just going to put Nina on as well because I can see what she's got going on there, and that looks very fun. Hang on, let me remove myself.
Same thing here, guys. The pre-clean does have a couple of different settings. We've used the browning. Sorry, we haven't used the browning one. We've used the sugar stage one there, which it indicated that's the one it wanted to use, so that's what we put it on. But I have got my coffee candy here, so you can hear. They are quite hard now, and I'm just going to go and flick them off. I was able to shape them and crease them as well. So we just cut them with the plastic scraper, and then they can go into an airtight container, and they're perfect for a little treat. It's still a little bit chewy, so I'm not going to break it because it'll just stretch. But this is our honeycomb, so you can see all the beautiful aerated bubbles through there. Like I said before, you can cover this in chocolate, smash it. The kids always have fun smashing my honeycomb and eating it straight away, but it is the perfect gift. And this is also my go-to at Christmas time. Some honeycomb, some coffee, candy, and some homemade Baileys in the Thermomix, and those teachers are set. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tonight. Something different for you all to see in the Thermomix.
Thank you, Nina. That looks amazing, and I'm thinking I need to make them tonight while I'm cleaning up all of this so that I can have them tomorrow because I haven't made them before. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. I hope that has given you a little bit of an overview of what the TM5 versus the TM6 can do. If you feel like you need a little bit more information, please reach out to your consultant. We would love to hear from you. And if you don't have a consultant, again, please pop it in the chat. We can definitely make sure that you have someone amazing to support you. But quick recap of our offers again. Trade in your TM5 to get a TM6. You will get a free bowl blade lid set with that. If the trade-in isn't for you right now, but you still want to get your hands on a TM6, no problems. We have the $29 bowl deal available at the moment. And both of those offers are available in the classic white or the sparkling black. Now, we'll say sparkling black is limited edition and we are starting to deplete our stock. So if you've been thinking about it, please don't hold off. Once we get that final call that we're down to our last 1,000, they will go like that. So you do not want to miss out if you have your eyes on the sparkling black. We also, as I said, have 36 months interest-free running as a promotion at the moment. So you can get a Thermomix on your bench for less than $19 a week. And if you've thought about the business, we do have our low deposit earn option, which means all you pay is a deposit of $420 and you start earning back your machine as you go through the first 2 months of your business. Now, if that is something you would like some more information about, please just type business into the chat box and we will reach out to you and we can get you some of that information. We also do have our half price business kit, and I look at our business kit as the absolute best value new customer kit because it has a thermoserver, it has a thermomat, it has an apron, it has your carry bag. It's worth over $412, and at the moment you can get it for just $75. So regardless, I would say jump on board, give it a go. We are coming into our very strong sales period, which is very exciting with Christmas and everything. But I hope you have enjoyed tonight. We love doing this. We love showcasing to you what the TM6 can do. We love our TM5. Don't get us wrong. This one served me, not this particular one, but the TM5 served me very well for about 5 years. But honestly, once you've got the TM6, it is completely redundant. I'm so excited for you, Kim. Let's get that one to you. That is it from us. If you would like the recording of this, if you'd like to go over anything else, please let us know. We can send that out to you. Otherwise, connect with your consultant, and we look forward to getting your TM6s on your bench. Massive thank you, Tess, Nina, and Emma as well. I'm just going to pop them back on here.
Thanks, everyone.
Where are they?
Thank you, everyone.
I've lost Nina. Oh no, I've lost Emma. There we are. We're all there somewhere.
That is my lollies.
You ate the lollies.
Yum.
I'm going to go make it and then eat some teriyaki. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys at your delivery demos. Bye.
Yeah,